is, brother, you was cooking. You could have gave us a few more minutes there. Blessed be the name of the Most High. He definitely, I kind of understand why the method to his madness when he say he jumps midgets. So I understand why my brother Chief Uzael acts the way he does. But glory be to the Most High God, because today we get to honor his name. Today we get an opportunity to come together in fellowship and praise and glorify his name, and even go into the word that he's left on record. But first and foremost, I would like to always give all honor, glory, and exaltation to the Most High God. I also would like to show due respect to my parents and the time the Most High God gave them on this earth, Moreh Elazar and Gaveret Nakoa. To the chief of the house, Prince Yariel, my brother that calls me by mistake twice a year, and we end up staying on the phone for an hour. Chief Meku, my brother Moreh Arania, Chief Uzael, my brother Samar Zakar. I know I'm going to forget somebody, but I said I was going to get all the names right this time. So if I forgot you, please, in humility, forgive me. Due respect to all our elders that are in our midst, even our youth that would come to a place like this, even come to a place that they could call on the name of the Most High God with joy and gladness in their heart. I greet you in the tongue of our ancient forefathers by saying Shabbat Shalom Lakim. Okay, the portion for today is going to be found in the book of Judges, the 5th chapter and the 1st verse. And this is a portion that aligns with the parsha for today, the sigil for today. That would be Beshalach. So we're singing songs today. Now, I'm not going to break out into singing, so y'all don't have to be worried about that. But I will try to break down the events that led up to this song and the actual song in itself. But before we get into this, I want to preface this by saying it's very important what we entertain ourselves with. This is why the Most High God shows us that we had songs that we glorified his name with. We entertained ourselves with glorifying his name. When were we at our best. Now, when we're at our worst, we sang and we entertain ourselves with foolishness and folly. And it doesn't help us on any level. The only thing it does is help our oppressors. My father used to always say, they always want us drunk and dancing. As long as they can keep us drunk and dancing, they control us. But when we start putting in our mind the idea and the understanding that we should entertain ourselves with righteousness. Now, some people do it through rapping. Some people do it through singing. Some people do it through instruments. But when we entertain ourselves with glorifying the Most High God, we will get closer to being the people that he expects us to be. Hallelujah. All right, now we're going to talk about this king. They had this Canaanite king, Yabin, and that wasn't his name. That's like Pharaoh. It's like a title. And he was ruling over us for 20 years. And in this 20 years, he set up camp in Hazor. Now, we know in the book of Joshua, I believe it's the 10th chapter or the 11th chapter, Slika, we had already destroyed Hazor, but we allowed them to build it back up. We allowed the Canaanites to rebuild the city that we destroyed because we never take direction fully from the Most High God. He told us not to make no allegiances, not to even leave any of these people around. But what we did is we allowed them to rebuild in our midst, and it became a snare. So much of a snare that he had the captain of his host, this man named Sisera, and he had 900 chariots. And he set up shop in Haroshet Goyim. That's in the land of Zavulun. So people say, well, how could we let them set up in the midst of our land that we had already destroyed them? Imagine trying to go against 900 tanks and you have rocks. Imagine trying to fight 900 fighter plane and you have pistols. This is how it happened. They had a superior might in their military, but the Most High God always had an answer for us, and our answer came in a woman. That's right, brothers. A woman. Today, a woman saves the day on multiple occasions. First, we had Devorah. She was not only a judge, she was a prophetess. She talked to the Most High God. And she called her lieutenant, her warrior, Barak, and she said, now is the time for us to get our freedom. So how are we going to get our freedom? We're going to go to war. And brothers and sisters, I hate to tell you this, but sometimes freedom is tied to war. Sometimes freedom is tied to somebody losing their life. So Devorah, this great prophetess, she commissioned Barak. But Barak, knowing what type of woman he is, he said, I'll go, but I'm not going without you. Now, mind you, does that make him not tough? Absolutely not. You would be foolish to want to go to war without having somebody that has a direct connection with the Most High God on your side, right there with you. So if God changes his mind in the middle of this, you're right here on my head. But she made one condition. She said, sure, I'll go to war because I'm sure of what the Most High God wants us to do. But if we do this, the glory is going to be in the hands of a woman. So they travel up to Mount Tabor, and actually you can see it in my background. I step aside for a minute. I was able to see that in 2019. And it was a blessing because this is part of our history. He commissioned 10,000 men from the tribes of what? Zebulun and Naphtali. Now, understand why Zebulun and Naphtali were the two tribes that they definitely had to have men come up. Because they were in the midst of being occupied. Haroshet Goyim is in the land of Zebulun, and Hazor is in the land of Naphtali. So these are the two nations that they had to come up. Now, as we see in the song, it was some nations that did come up that wasn't mentioned here, but there was also nations that sat by and let the midgets jump up on us. They didn't help their brothers. So we have to understand that the Most High God, when he commissions us to go and to stand up, he's going to give us what we need to stand up. So sometimes it may not be 20, 30, 50,000 brothers. It might have just been the 10, but these 10,000 were enough to serve the Most High God or serve his purpose that he sent them to do. Now we also see that they beat them down all the way to where the chariots went in one direction and Sisera went in another direction. He headed north and they headed south. Initially, Barak chased the chariots, so Sisera was home free. At least he thought he was, until he came into the home of Ebed the Kenite and his wife Yael. Now we don't even know what side that he's on this war, but we understand from history what side that she was on this war. And she spoke to him kindly as he was running for his life. She said, come on in. You know, we're your friends. Sit down, take a load off. You know how sisters can do. You know, you want some water? No, brother. Hey, try some of this milk. This is fresh. And him and his fear or whatever he was, he let his guard down, drunk the milk, went to sleep, and she put a tent pin through his head to where he swooned and died. Now, when Barak came back looking for Sisera, Sisera was dead in the tent of Ebed the Kenite by the hand of his wife, Yael. So she was the one that got the glory in the midst of this war, regardless of what the men did. I say that to say what? I want to mention that because, brothers and sisters, sometimes we think that our restoration lies only on the men of Israel. Absolutely not. Sister, sometimes you feel like maybe I can do this, but nobody will respect me because I'm a female. The Most High God will send the best person, the most capable person to do his work. Man, we choose by height and girth and how much money you got in, you know, what type of jewelry you got. Oh, look what he drives and he should be our leader. The Most High God knows your heart. He knows your mind. He knows how you walk. So guess what? That means that may be male or female. And we cannot continue to separate, because Slick, our Chief Uzael touched on that earlier. We live in a society where they want to separate us between males and females. If you look at social media every day, there's something that's, well, men should do this and men should do that. We can't take our cue from people that are not attached to God. We can't tell her that can't run our household. And see, we've gotten it backwards. So where we say, hey, we're going to do God, nation, and our family. That's wrong, brothers and sisters. And I'll say that, I'll tell you why. Because it has to be God first. We understand that. I agree with you 100% on that. But then it has to be family, because if your family is not intact, you are no good to this nation. If your family is not righteous, you are no good to this nation. Now, I know some people gonna feel bad, or I'm making some kickback in it, but I'm okay with that. Understand that we have to build strong families to be a strong nation. Or else we'll just continue in this cycle of destruction, of destroyed family, destroyed children. So we can't be thinking about how you're going to lead Israel home to the land if your children can't read. Or your children are in the streets doing things that are not godly. We have to start with our family. So I'm going to read the song, and it's in Judges chapter 5. Uziel, Chief, am I doing good on time? I don't want to go over. Torah. Okay, so we're going to go into the song. And like I said, I'm not going to sing it, but, just understand that this was something that we entertained ourselves with. So, Judges chapter 5, verse 1, it reads on this wise. Then sang Devorah and Barak, the son of Abinoam, on that day, saying, when men let grow their hair in Israel, when the people offer themselves willingly, bless ye Yahweh. Hear, O ye kings. Give ear, O ye princes. I unto Yahweh will I sing. I will sing praise to Yah, the power of Yisrael. And, there's controversy about the hair growing long, but I don't want to get into that today. Today, I want to listen this word or this phrase, offer themselves willingly. This is the serious part that we have to internalize when the Most High God says stuff like that. He doesn't want you begrudgingly. He doesn't want you to serve him like you're doing him a favor. Because think about how many favors the Most High God shows each and every one of us in a 24-hour span. I dare say none of us can count them all. None of us know all the things that the Most High God does for us from day to day. Not every item. We know he woke us up this morning. We know we got home or we got back. What about the harm unseen? We know about the harm seen. What about the harm unseen? You know what I'm saying? That we bypassed. Nothing happened. We didn't even know nothing happened. But the Most High God said, not my servant. You cannot get that unless you offer yourself willingly to the Most High God. Offer yourself willingly to when you join a community or a congregation, because I know there's a big flat, like we need congregations. We need communities. And we need to have full efforts. Don't join a congregation just to go to talk about people. Don't join a congregation just to be like, oh, well, I'm going to see what so-and-so did. You see what they got on this Shabbat? Give that to your governor. It goes on and it says, Yahweh, when thou didst go forth out of Seir, when thou didst march out of the field of Edom, the earth trembled, the heaven also dropped, yea, the clouds dropped water. The mountains quaked at the presence of Yah, even on Sinai at the presence of Yah, the power of Yisrael. And we see that's in the book of Devarim, the 33rd chapter in Wazot Habraka, where he speaks of this. But you have to understand, the Most High's hands is still the same now that it was in these days and time. He can destroy with water. He can destroy with fire. He can destroy, we don't even understand the heavens. But if you ever been on an airplane that got some turbulence, you kind of understand that you have no control of what God has going on. If you ever been on a boat in the middle of the ocean, you understand that the hand of the Most High God is much greater than we are. It goes on and says, in the days of Shamgar, the son of Anah, in the days of Yael, the highway ceased, and the travelers walked through byways. The rulers ceased in Israel. They ceased until that thou didst arise, Devorah, that thou didst arise, a mother, and Yisrael. This is how downtrodden we were. We were so abused. We were so downtrodden, we couldn't even get on the highway. You need to go somewhere, but I'm not going because something might happen to me. We needed leaders in Israel, but we were afraid to be a leader because something might happen to me. Until a woman came to Devorah, this great woman came and stood as a leader in Israel. I say to you once again, brothers and sisters, that this is something that we have to think about and consider, that it's always the best man or woman for the job. I don't care how great you speak. I don't need you doing the plumbing in my house if you don't do plumbing. I don't care how tall you are. I don't need you fixing electrical in my house if you don't do work on electric. You're not an electrician. So the simplicity of that is we have to stand together and put the best person in the position as we return to the Most High God. And guess what? He will let us know whether this is the person or this ain't the person. When he tells us believe it. It goes on to say, they chose new deities. There was war in the gates. Was there a shield or a spear seen among 40,000 in Yisrael? We lost our heart, brothers and sisters. We chose other deities and we lost our heart. Just like today, we're waiting on this JC or this Messiah or whatever they want to call it to come back. And we've lost our heart. We've been turning the other cheek for 400 plus years, waiting on somebody to come and save us. When the salvation is in the Most High that we serve and us not being fearful, it says we lost our heart. We cowards. We become cowards. Listen, and I see all the time on social media where people will stand and take a picture and or take a video and watch their brother or their sister get beat down or all type of wickedness happen in front of them. And instead of stopping it, instead of putting their hand in the mix, they're trying to go viral. We've become cowards. And I'm not saying everybody, but if that shoe fit, come on, take a good walk in it. It goes on and says, my heart is toward the governors of Yisrael that offered themselves willingly. How? Willingly. Among the people. Bless ye Yahweh. Ye that ride on white asses. Ye that sit on rich clothes. And ye that walk by the way. Tell of it. Talk about the Most High God. Don't complain about the job that you signed up for. How you say I'm the chief man and they want me to come down to again, man. These people getting on my. Just step aside, brother. Step aside, sister. Let somebody that's going to do the job willingly. Because when we stop giving to God willingly, we only hurting ourselves. He doesn't need us for anything. He loves, though, when we can honor and glorify his name. And we don't do that through just talking. At some point, we got to come out of the book and start living this in real life. Now, I ain't saying forget about the book because he left it on record. That's how we learn. But you just can't be a brilliant reader and a terrible person and think the Most High God doesn't see it. It goes on to say, verse 11, louder than the voice of the archer by the watering troughs, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of Yah, even the righteous acts of his rulers in Yisrael. Then the people of Yah went down to the gates. Awake, awake, Devorah, awake, awake. Utter a song. Arise, Barak, and lead thy captivity captive, thou son of Avinoam. Then made he a remnant to have dominion over the nobles and the people. Jehovah made me have dominion over the mighty. And he will still do that, brothers and sisters. He still can make us have dominion over the mighty. Even those 900 tanks we talked about, or those 900 airplanes that we talked about, or fighter jets, the Most High God controls the skies, the heavens. He pluck them right out of the heavens if we're right with him. We think that we're waiting on the Most High God, and he's waiting on us to say, we really take this sincerely. And we speak and we say, let's unite. Well, unity is a funny thing. And one thing I know for sure is you can only unite with those that want to unite. So we have to understand that unity is going to be with those that want it, and they're going to show in their actions and how they move. No reason to cry about it. Everybody's not going on this trip. Everybody can't go. But the Most High God said those that were willing to follow him, there should be nothing greater or more important in your life. Because we can't teach it to our children that this is the greatest thing that's in this world, and we're not living like that amongst each other. They see. They see. So if you jumping out the store on the Shabbat to go to the out the house to go to the grocery store, and you think that they didn't see you, they saw you. Or when you had to work every third Shabbat and you said, don't tell nobody, they saw you. So when they're 25 and that Christmas tree is in their house and all the bells and whistles, you need to look at yourself in the mirror. We have to be 100% committed to this walk. It goes on to say, out of Ephraim came those in Amalek, after thee Benjamin among thy people. Out of my care came down governors, and out of Zebulun they that handled the martial staff. And the princes of Yissaschar were with Devorah, as was Yissaschar, so was Barak, into the valley that rushed forward at his feet. Among the divisions of Reuben, there were great resolve of heart. So now you see the other tribes stepping in. There were other tribes that came and to the assistance, but then there's going to be other tribes that didn't come. And you have to understand, because, you know, as much as I may tease my brother Chief Ooze, he is 100% right. You never stand by and idly and watch your brother get hurt. You never allow nobody to do something to your brother in your presence. We'll worry about what we're dealing with later on. We'll talk about this at the house. You know, but as one growing up in a big family, I know that you couldn't come home and be like, oh, well, they jumped my brother, or they jumped on my brother. I might as well just not come home. I might as well just go somewhere else. So it goes on and says, why sattest thou amongst the sheepfold to hear the pipings for the flocks? At the divisions of Reuben, there were great searchings of heart. Gilead abode beyond the Jordan, and Dan by Slickah. And Dan, why doth he sojourn by the ships? I shall dwell at the shore of the sea, and abideth by its bays. These are nations that they didn't come. They didn't see the reason to come. But the Most High God is not going to send us to do something that we're not equipped to do. So now we'll deal with them on the back end. But Most High God sent us to win this battle. I'm going to read this one out. It goes on to say, Zebulun is a people that jeoparded their lives unto the death, and Naphtali unto the high places of the field. The kings came, they fought. Then fought the kings of Canaan and Ta'anach by the waters of Megiddo. They took no gain of money. They fought from heaven. The stars in their courses fought against Sisera. That's right, because the hands of the Most High God, or when he fights for us, he fights with more than just swords and guns, and that's all we can think about. Imagine having a chariot and it's muddy out. You know, you got 8 inches of mud. That chariot is not going to be any good. They said the Most High God fight with the stars, the heavens. Imagine it just started a heavy rain, and we're under a flood warning right now in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm talking about when they flood seriously. You know, so you have to understand the Most High God has way more tools at his disposal than we can even consider. This is who fights for us. He hasn't got old and weak. He's waiting on us, Israel. It goes on, it says, the brook Kishon swept them away. the ancient brook, the brook Kishon. O my soul, tread them down with strength. Then did the horse hoof stamp by reason of the prancings of the mighty ones. Curse ye Meroz, said the angel of Yah. Curse ye bitterly the inhabitants thereof, because they came not to the help of Yah, to the help of Yah against the mighty. Blessed above all women shall Yael be, the wife of Heber the Kenite. Above women in a tent shall she be blessed. Water he asked, milk she gave him. In a lordly bowl she gave it to him, gave him curd. Her hand she put to the tent pen, and her right hand to the workman's hammer. And with the hammer she smote Sisera. She smote through his head, yea, she pierced and struck through his temples. At her feet he sunk, he fell, he lay. At her feet he sunk, he fell. Where he sunk, there he fell down dead. And this is mentioning this great victory. So in the song, you see, it's not about Barak, but this great portion of the song, which to me is like maybe the chorus or something if I was going to sing it. I'm trying to put it together. I'm going to work it out in my head. But this is just a mentioning of what she did. And you think fear wasn't in her heart? You think mind you, this is not just a regular guy. He was a bad hombre. He was a tough guy. But like I said, our sisters have a caliber to them that sometimes we don't even acknowledge that they have. So when he was getting set up for the okie doke, he thought he was just going to get a good nap. When he just wanted some water, she got the milk and the curd and got the good blanket. And you know how you make somebody feel comfortable. And there he died, there he lay. How they said? There, at her feet, he sunk, he fell, he lay. Verse 28 says, through the window she looked forward and peered, the mother of Sisera. Through the lattice, why is his chariot so long in coming? Why tarry the wheels of his chariots? The wisest of her princes answered her, yea. She returned his answer to herself. Are they not finding? Are they not dividing the spoil? A damsel, 2 damsels to every man. To Sisera, a spoil of dyed garments, of embroidery, 2 dyed garments of embroidery for the neck of every spoiler. So perish all the enemies of Yah, but they that love him be as the sun when he goeth forth in his might. And the land had rest 40 years. We have nothing to fear when we serve the Most High God. You're going to have times that fear is going to come across you, but you have to remember who you serve. You're going to have times where you're unsure. This is where you talk to the Most High God. Don't be afraid to fall on your knees and call on him, because man doesn't have all the answer. Don't be afraid to sit still and meditate and listen for the answer that he may send you. Because we talk to God a lot, but do we really listen? Do we wait for the answer that he gives us? Or do we just talk to God and be like, well, it's going to come, listen, the old lady stepped on my shoe in the store and that's what God must want me to do. Take that with. No. Sometimes we just got to sit calm and listen for the word of the Most High God. His hand has not changed. His might has not changed. He has not changed. He's waiting for us to change. I thank the Most High God for this opportunity to even do this portion. Before you, I had a lot more I wanted to say, but I don't want to really get too, I don't want the brother to have to reprove me again. I talk a lot. So I thank the Most High God for this opportunity, and may he be with each and every one of your families. May we begin to love each other with a perfect love, and may the Most High God come ever so nigh to each and every one of us, because we all have a battle that we're battling, just like this one that we spoke of today. May all glory be unto him, and he bless the house of D.C.B. and each and every one of you. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Giving glory to the Creator. Thanking the Most High God for the life of our brother Moreh Ithamar ben Yehuda and thanking the Most High God for his life and the life of his family, and the understanding and the wisdom that he brought forth today. Can you, yes. So without any further ado, I don't think it's switched. Without any further ado, we're gonna call up the teacher for the day, even